All right, dude. I think now we get into it. Let's do our best superhero movies of the 2020s. So
we've been waiting on this one.
We have been waiting. So I wanted to do a little refresh on this. Yeah. So I have now seen all of the movies on this list, like very recently, except for one of them. So I'll put the caveat when I.
So you just know it's good enough that it needs to be in the list. You're saying?
Yeah, I know it's good enough. I remember it well enough to know that it needs to be in the list. But the point is this list it's as good as you're gonna get. It really is. I mean,
it's really top 10
it doesn't lie. Do you want to go ahead and start out? Do you want to give me yours first?
I think since this was you originally brought this idea to the table, and I think you should go for it.
Okay.
You go for it. I talk too much. So you go for it.
I'm going to start out, and I'm going to give you one honorable mention, because I see this movie sometimes not get the love that it deserves. And my honorable mention is Shang-Chi.
Dude, okay, you know what? This is the only time I'm going to... That's my honorable mention, too.
Really?
So just say whatever, because I agree.
Okay.
Great take.
That movie is so underrated. The fight scenes in that are awesome. The whole ending sequence I see a lot of people hate on. I loved it. Worked for me. It worked for me a lot. Awesome. Everything there was great. The whole movie is... It was the perfect movie for a sequel, I think, too. And, like, I need more. I need more. That movie's great.
Is Marvel's biggest flub of the multiverse saga not involving Shang-Chi more?
Yes. And this is a little
character-based flop, I mean.
Ooh. Like,
there's some big
that's their biggest fumble?
Like, Doom could have been set up better, and the Avengers maybe should have teamed up for a secret
You talking
invasion.
about setups or, like, what they did for a character?
Like, I'm saying in terms of, like, if you had to pinpoint a specific character mistake they made in the multiverse saga, is Shang-Chi not being utilized more the biggest one?
No. It's definitely not the biggest one.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, I don't know if you're counting this. I would definitely say the fall off of Nick Fury, the way they've treated him in this saga is disgusting.
You would put that as a higher thing?
Yes.
This is, by the way, doing numbers for the Zendaya accusations.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. They do him so dirty.
Yeah.
They do him so dirty.
They do.
Like, Secret Invasion, having him in the Marvels, like, that's his only really appearances, and, like...
And he's not even himself.
They make him this old, feeble guy that can't do anything anymore, and he just sits up in space in the clouds just doing nothing.
Walking barefoot with the cats, dude.
It's awful, man. They gotta show him love, man. He was, like, one of the coolest parts of the OG Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
He, for sure. Anyway.
You hear that?
Getting off track. In my number 10 spot... You're crazy.
You're freaking crazy. Sorry.
In my number 10 spot, I have Fantastic Four. I'm going with the recency here. Maybe it'll drop.
Okay.
But going through the list, I don't know if you felt this way. Going through the 2020 Superman or superhero films, there really is a lot left to be desired. There's a lot of stinkers. I did a whole list of every single one I'd seen. I think there's around 35-ish. There's a lot of bad.
Yeah.
And, like, honestly, that just shows where Fantastic Four sits, because it's really not even... The more I've sat on it, the more I think it's a top 18 MCU movie. I'm a little less high on it as a lot of people, I think. A little more down. But it definitely squeezes in the top 10 here, I think. And I'm going to follow that by going to my number 9, where I do think it was the better movie. I have Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts was what? I know you're gonna have that at like probably 2 or something. Something blasphemous.
Is there a number higher than 1?
The reason I like Thunderbolts so much is simply because of the cast, the way they do it. I don't know if I would necessarily say that the movie itself, in terms of like what actually happens, there's a ton of stuff that like is the reason I love the movie. It's really just based on the actual characters that are developed and shown to you in the movie. That's the main reason I think that movie is so good. And again, these movies are fantastic from pretty much here on up.
Yeah.
I mean, Fantastic Four is good too, but definitely in my mind, it's Thunderbolts, and then like we really start going up.
Thunderbolts is good because it's a character-driven movie in a universe that was built on character-driven movies that hadn't gotten a character-driven movie.
Yes.
In half a decade.
Right. And, again, this just shows how top-heavy the 2020s were for superhero movies. It was either boom or bust kind of thing. Like,
yes.
It was either really good or not. So, yeah, Thunderbolts, you're going to definitely get into more than I did. But again, it came in as a movie that we really needed to see be good, and it just meant a lot to me. I know we both were high on it coming out of the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
That's my number 9. Number 8, and this is the caveat here. This is the movie I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen it since it first came out.
Okay.
The Suicide Squad 2021
Okay.
is where in my number 8. I know a lot of people think this is one of the funniest superhero movies, and I remember thinking it was funny. It's tough because I don't remember the very specifics of it compared to all these other movies. So it's sitting in my 8. I know a lot of people might have it a bit higher than that, honestly. But it's James Gunn. It's just James Gunn. This whole list is honestly just a James Gunn glaze fest, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there's how many movies on here? There's at least 3. I think there's 4
Movies on my list from James Gunn. Maybe 3.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta do it. Anyway.
Okay.
That's sitting in the 8.
Okay.
Number 7, I have Deadpool and Wolverine.
Good take. That's a perfect spot for it.
People love to hate this movie now. And I hope we're finally getting back to a place where this always shifts. We had it with No Way Home, where you get where everyone loves it, then everyone decides they hate it, and then you kind of get that actual middle ground of like what the proper take probably is.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think we're coming to that. The story doesn't really make sense much at all, right? Like, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
However, if there's a movie that brands itself on it not really making sense for a story, it's Deadpool, right? Like, that's the whole point. It's one of the funnier movies. The opening sequence is one of my favorites in the whole MCU, right? That whole sequence is awesome. I think while it does have that bit of a choppy story, there's so many cool moments that you went into the theater and came out that you were like, I need to go back to the theater just so I can see that played out again.
Yep.
I remember, I think I went 3 times because there were so many cool things like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, dude.
Number 6, I just rewatched last night, so this is very fresh.
Very fresh.
I have the Zack Snyder Justice League cut.
Oh, man.
Very interesting movie. I will say this movie, the first half of the movie, drags a little bit. Don't hate the guy. It does. It does. It is all set up for the second half.
Yeah.
However, nothing bad happens in the first half at all. There was nothing that I was like, that was wrong, that wasn't good. They do fun action pieces in it. I just wish they had a little bit more of actual Justice League involvement in it.
Sure.
Because in the first half, the only thing that they do is just recruit.
Yeah.
Right? However, the second half of that movie is generational.
Mm-hmm.
Generational. The last hour, oh my gosh. We texted a little bit about this because I was just reminding you. The sequence of when Batman is in the Batmobile, they're all finally coming into their own. They're a cohesive team, and you see them all like have like a specific reason for being there. That's my favorite part of the movie, is that there was not one character that, like, had they not been there, like, they wouldn't have won because they did that very specific thing for the movie. And I love that. I love that they all had their moment to shine, and just like, I think that might be one of the highest aura films I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's just the Zack Snyder way.
It's so good, and you feel so heavy. It's so good. The only reason I think that the film gets cut down for me is dialogue's not great. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything specifically bad other than Kal-El. No. That's like the only main thing.
And at the end, oh, and by the way, some call me the Martian.
I know.
What? Okay. Let me write this down here.
Yeah, it's there's bits like that, and they kind of talk very robotically, like, throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But again, when the movie is like the way it is, where it's not more like an origin story to get you to care about the characters, it doesn't bother me as much as it does in like Man of Steel,
Sure.
And Wonder Woman.
Things like that. So, anyway.
Sitting in my number 5, I have Superman.
Okay.
I have Superman. I'm not gonna jump it way too high. I'm gonna sit it properly. The movie was fantastic. It got me to care about the DC again. We've talked about this to no end. I'm gonna keep it short. I think that it suffers again, the ending a little bit. It has some moments where it's a little awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just drops it again.
Are you talking in terms of awkward in what sense?
Awkward in sense of the ending. Lex Luthor, the whole ending there that I was talking about with like the dog coming in, the mistimed jokes, the sequence in the middle when they're in the what do they call it? In the
the
like,
pocket universe.
Yes,
or
the
something?
pocket universe. Yeah. That was all a little. There were certain parts that I was not sure about, a little sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
But again, fantastic movie overall.
We've talked about it.
We have about 16 million episodes on that, so you can go back and watch any one of this.
For more on Superman, watch anything on this channel. Number 4.
Number 4. I have Guardians 3.
Wow. Okay.
I love this movie.
Yeah, dude.
I love this movie. The top
4 that I have now, like, I keep tearing it. Top 4 is, like, generational movies to me.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians 3 was so good and such a treat to see this and another movie come out within 2 months of each other was so awesome. But this movie is so, the perspective of Rocket, everything there, you just feel it so much, man. Yep. The music's great as always. That's just a guarantee. It's very emotional. It's very good. The villain, what was his name? I don't know. I'm forgetting, but he was very good. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know.
What is his name, dude? Darn it! What is his name?
What is it?
Can you grab that?
Yeah.
Hold that up?
You got that?
The High Evolutionary.
Yeah,
That's it.
the High Evolutionary.
Okay, go for it. Yeah. All right, so you were saying?
Yeah.
That movie's in my 4 for sure.
Okay. It's a great movie.
It is really good, and again, you're gonna probably go through a lot of these, I'm sure, because the pickings are sparse. So,
yeah. I'm excited to hear what you have to say too. Number 3, I have
the Batman. This is potentially divisive. The first 2 just mean so much to me that I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is so good. It is so good. We talked about the aura thing. It's so well done. I love the way that they use Batman as the detective in this. The Riddler is one of the best villains in a comic movie, honestly. I would put him potentially, easily top 10.
Oh, he's great.
He's very good. The way they do the Penguin, I wish they did him a little more, but I know we got the show. I think he's very well done. I think the whole, the way Robert Pattinson does him is great. I wish we got more Bruce Wayne time to see kind of that fleshed out a little more. But definitely, this universe is rocking.
Yeah.
The ending's so cool. Just to be able to see the younger Batman kind of figure his way through it now. Mm-hmm. So that way, hopefully in part 2, we get to see that more experienced version that we can really see him start cooking too. But that whole movie's great. Matt Reeves cooked. Thank you, Matt.
We love you, Matt.
Number 2, I have Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie was a theater reaction unlike no other, man. Do you remember it, man? December 2021.
The dementia will come and the memories will fade, but Spider-Man No Way Home, I'll remember start to finish.
It's so good. Seeing all 3 of them on the same screen together. It's just the whole Statue of Liberty scene where they're all flying together. The build-up for that movie, too, was so good. I remember so many times looking through the trailers, and people would always point out the specific things they were like. I remember the big one was that poster where it was all the villains flying at just Tom, and people were like, there's no way. Like, and then there was, they set it up for...
The international trailer where the lizard just gets, punched.
Yeah, It was so good. It was, the worst-kept secret, but, for the best reason.
Yeah, no one cared.
Everyone knew it was probably going to happen. But, still, you didn't know for sure that, I didn't want to get too excited about the possibility. Awesome movie. That was a theater reaction unlike no other. I don't think I've ever been in a theater that was that loud where, it was clapping and cheering to, where I, almost couldn't hear it. When Andrew delivers his first line, I couldn't even hear what he said.
It was just a raucous theater experience.
And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like when people react in theater.
No, there was no other way to react.
No, especially for comic book stuff. I think that's the way you do. When it's a big moment, you've got to. Anyway.
100%.
My number 1.
Number 1. This is also my favorite movie of all time. I'm putting the brand on it.
Whoa, favorite movie of all time.
My favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
As of right now.
Forward? Like I did when I talked about Finding Nemo?
Number 1 movie. I'm going to give him a full podcast intro. Ready? Number 1 movie. Superhero movie of the 2020s. Number 1 movie of the 2020s. Number 1 movie of all time. Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
can't tell you how much that movie means to me, man.
Oh my goodness. Walk me through.
I've always said this on the channel so far. Huge animation guy. Grew up on Clone Wars. Loved everything. Seeing this come to life and in theaters, I didn't get to witness Into the Spider-Verse in theaters, which maybe that would change my view of how I see that movie. I mean, that movie's still
If anything, it would make
a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I just think maybe that would take it to a whole nother level for me.
Sure.
This movie, the soundtrack, my favorite soundtrack, period.
You still listen to it
Period.
quite
I
often,
do.
don't you?
I do. Love that soundtrack, dude. Silk and Cologne, like all those songs are so good.
Anyway, I'm
getting lost in
Getting
songs.
emotional.
Get emotional. Start tearing up.
Yeah, I guess so.
There are so many cool moments in that movie, and the whole arc of Miles Morales, where you see him, you have all these involvements of other characters, but literally, except for potentially Spider-Punk, everyone essentially betrays him in some way. And you get this moment where it's the whole talk of canon events and the fact that everything basically just has to happen for a reason.
That's one of the best sequences in superhero history.
Yeah. And he just... The whole... Well, I did lure hundreds of spider people away from that. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Jumps off. It's so awesome. So awesome. I can't not watch that scene like every time and just smile so hard. It's such a good movie. And it's the best Spider-Man movie, obviously, because it's the best of everything. That's a fantastic movie. Start to finish. The cliffhanger makes it so good, too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Chills.
Perfect.
Chills.
That's a great list.
That's
a
my
great list.
That's my list.
So I'm just gonna give one final encompass.
Of course.
My best superhero movies of the 2020s. Honorable mention, Shang-Chi. In the 10, I have Fantastic Four. 9, I have Thunderbolts. 8, I have The Suicide Squad 2021. 7, I have Deadpool and Wolverine. Then 6, I have the Snyder Cut, Justice League. In the 5, I have Superman. 4, I have Guardians 3. 3, I have The Batman. 2, I have Spider-Man No Way Home. And 1, I have Across the Spider-Verse.
Great list.
Bang.
Great list, dude. And I'll say,
Yeah.
it makes my list a little easier.
Okay.
Because I have the same movies.
All the same movies?
Just in a different order.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's all the same movies.
I think that's because of just how bad it is.
It's because
it
every other
drops.
movie that came out is horrendous.
There's like 12 and 13 are and then like 14 to 35 is just horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Like you get starting talking where like the 14th is like Black Widow. Like it's really rough.
And there were some, I'll be honest, that I was bummed that I couldn't put on the list because for some reason, because of how COVID jumbled things together, there were movies that maybe came out in like 19 or 18 that I was like,
they feel like a...
It feels like a 2020s movie.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel like we're in the year we're in. But that's a great list, dude.
Okay. Well, dude, I'm pumped to hear your list.
Absolutely. Well,
Take us through.
I'll make it quick because I tend to talk too much when I get into it. So, my honorable mention also Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten
Good
Rings.
pick.
I just feel
Good pick.
like Marvel, in a jumble of trying to build out the multiverse saga before it was the multiverse saga. How do we continue the MCU after Endgame? How do we invite new characters into this thing that have no relation to the characters that we just wrapped all the other stuff up with and get people to care just as much about these new people? Somehow with Shang-Chi they cracked it. I don't know what the recipe was. I can't really put my finger on it. It just felt original. It felt fresh. I knew nothing about Shang-Chi. It didn't matter. I loved seeing him. I wish we saw him more. I'm so glad he's going to be pivotal in Doomsday and in Secret Wars. Just a really special character with a lot of potential that I hate to have seen been kind of wasted or shelved for the last couple of years. I can't imagine the stories we could have gotten if they had made like an Avengers Secret Invasion type of movie with the Skrulls or something.
Yep.
I just would have loved to have seen him more, but it's just a testament to how much this movie, really kind of. It's one of those movies where you get bummed about the other stuff because you're like, oh, Marvel can still do it. They just, were too idea heavy for a while. But like this is evidence. Like Marvel's still got it, and just a great movie. Really pleasant. Really excited to see Shang-Chi in the future. That's an honorable mention. Now we're going into the top 10. At number 10, I think you also had this. I also have the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I felt that the Fantastic Four, and you alluded to this yourself, is the only movie on this list with maybe zero rewatchability value. I feel like you watch it, you love it, you get what you need, you move on, because there's nothing really inherently in the movie that necessitates a return. And there's nothing really in the movie that drives the story totally forward. It's a standalone story where the Fantastic Four go against an evil thing, defeat the evil thing, and go home. Ironically, the final shot is them going home. Like, it's a very by-the-books comic book movie. It plays out like a comic book, stylized like a comic book. Very great, very, very good outing for Marvel. Solid outing. Very encouraging. Proved that the MCU was back, as they say, and proved that we can have full confidence with the Russo brothers going into Secret Wars and Doomsday. That being said, like we talked about, just not too much rewatchability value and not too much that contributes to the larger MCU, other than we have 4 characters that we love that are now about to be a part of the core narrative, which, if that's all we get, that's fine. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, with the universe about to introduce the biggest villain in Marvel history, would have loved to have seen, like, maybe 5 minutes of setup. Like, I think 5 minutes would have solved all of our problems, and we didn't even get that. So I just think it's just disappointing to have a lack of setup going into Doomsday, because now Doomsday has to answer for the lack of stuff in Fantastic Four. But great movie.
Yep.
Number 9, The Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I have not seen this movie start to finish in its entirety, but I've seen bits and pieces and enough of it to understand that it deserves to be in this. So this is the only movie in this list that is in here just because, by default, I know it should be. This is the movie that gave DC the impression that James Gunn could carry the mantle. This is the first time we really got to see James Gunn's vision for filmmaking, and really got to see, he's not being carried by these Marvel characters. This isn't just dumb luck. This isn't us blaming James, or putting all the heap on James Gunn for something that Marvel's doing. Like, James Gunn is that guy, and he's making a great movie regardless of where he goes. The characters are great. The villain is creative, like Starro. Like, what? It's just a big starfish.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great movie. Love seeing some of the characters return in Creature Commandos. Love seeing the characters return in Superman. Love seeing that Peacemaker is going to be a pivotal part with Season 2. We might have to check that out. But just a great movie. Love the cast. It's a bummer that people like Margot Robbie and maybe Idris Elba might not be returning, but like,
I hope she does. Margot, she needs to stay.
There's a couple actresses that I can think of that would immediately stand out as like potential replacements, but again, like, perfect cast, and just a perfect DC answer to the Guardians. Number 8, I have Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
Like you said, the fact that the story makes no sense is the joke. But I think the problem is, once you stop laughing, it's really it's no longer funny.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the larger joke of, it's not meant to make sense. And I think at a certain point you're like, okay, that's funny. That it's just a Deadpool story and you just do. But then at a certain point you're like, that kind of sucks. Like, not the movie. That kind of sucks that it doesn't make sense. Like, I wonder what a story with actual, like, drive behind it would look like with Deadpool. And they toy with it. He has emotional ties to Vanessa and his friends, and he grows close to Wolverine, and he meets all these misfits, Elektra and Blade and Gambit, and you see him, like, creating and forming these attachments to people, learning what it takes to be a hero and not just thrust into heroism. So there's a lot of stuff in Deadpool and Wolverine that is tangible and is real and is great, and is why it's at number 8 for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once the joke of the fact that the story makes no sense is the joke, I think once that initial shock of that wears off, you're kind of like, I wonder if that kind of hurts it a little bit. Just a little bit. That being said, great movie.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Plays out exactly the way Multiverse of Madness plays out, where it should have just been a full-fledged, nothing's off the table, no cameos off the table. We threw everything at the wall, and everything that hit the wall we ended up using. Like, that's the way it should be with the multiverse. Every movie in the saga should have been like that. Would it have maybe benefited the saga? I don't know, because then you'd have a lot of stories that are kind of just sloppy. But that's what the multiverse saga should have been. I think that The dynamic between Logan and Deadpool is perfect. It's great. And I love seeing Hugh Jackman get to test the waters of more emotion from Deadpool that like he didn't get a chance to really even explore in Logan because a lot of Logan was trauma. It wasn't just like raw emotion. My actions have consequences. These metal claws come out of my hands and it hurts every time, and then like it sucks, and I just feel like a failure and an outcast. They didn't get to really explore that. You just kind of saw it in its raw essence in Logan. So it was cool to explore that from a more accessible standpoint in Deadpool and Wolverine. Great. I loved it. But just because the story isn't that deep, you can't put it that high. I think, that being said,
I get that.
Number 7, I have Thunderbolts. And it might shock you that I have it lower.
I am very surprised on that.
But I have Thunderbolts at 7.
Really? Okay.
What more can be said about Thunderbolts that hasn't already been said by both of us? Thunderbolts was, like we said, Marvel recognizing that they're at their best when they tell a character-driven story with people who care about one another. You can see they care about one another, and because of that, you, as an audience member, inherently just learn to care about the characters because you see the love. And that's what it's all about. That might not be what pulls the Avengers together in the comics, but as moviegoers, you're looking for that natural attachment to the character you're seeing. And so when we see that, not just in one, but in every single character in the Thunderbolts, you're drawn to what's happening. You're drawn to these misfits that you've only ever seen in a show or a movie that didn't get good reviews. Suddenly, just these things matter that didn't matter before because the emotion of it is real and the messages are real. And you relate to the depression stuff, you relate to the anxiety stuff, and you relate to the process of overcoming everything. And you applaud Marvel for telling a story that is bold and isn't just the easy way out, and isn't just the, oh, we have 6 mercenaries together, what's going to happen? Oh, let's tell a little espionage story. It's a real story about like real stuff. And it doesn't shy away from emotion and real like deeper traumatic mental elements that really we haven't seen in a Marvel movie. So for that reason, I have it at number 7.
Okay.
And like you said, this is because everything above it is just unreal.
It's peak.
It's totally unreal.
It's peak.
That being said, we're almost halfway through. Number 6, I have Guardians 3. And I don't know if that's surprising. I don't know if that's surprising. Again,
no, because I know you.
This is where it gets tricky. Because I feel like a couple of these, specifically the next 3, could be slightly interchangeable for different reasons.
I'm actually really curious to see where you go with this, because I think I could totally see you putting like Justice League 1 or something crazy, or like you're gonna put like I don't know you're gonna put like Across the Spider-Verse next if you put that.
No.
Okay.
Guardians 3 was the absolute perfect ending we could have ever gotten for the Guardians. It did nothing wrong. It did absolutely nothing wrong. The villain was great. The rocket stuff was great. Everything you said was awesome. I loved how, even though the Gamora thing could have been closed off, they found a way to incorporate her into the team, and it felt substantial, important, and vital. And I love the new stuff. I love Adam Warlock. Like, I love all of the different elements. I love the friends that Rocket makes along the way and how that adds to his depth. Suddenly you're looking back on when he freaks out at Peter in the first one when he's drunk, and and he's saying all this stuff about how he called me rodent, and I didn't ask to be picked apart and put back together. Mm-hmm. Suddenly all this stuff just makes sense, where if you're a comic book reader, none of it's shocking. If you're a moviegoer who's been following them strictly on their movie path, this is like a really emotional moment to be able to see this backstory for Rocket.
Right.
And I think that it's for a lot of people, even comic buffs like you and I, we are more inclined to just check things out in the movies. You and I are not going to sit down and read 85 comics together.
Yeah.
Or on our own or any at all. And so I think that it everything that James Gunn did in this movie, it was perfect. I love that he was already focused on DC, and he still gave everything he had into the Guardians stories. He cares so much about these characters, and it's like the care for these characters is like dripping out of every scene. Like it's so clear that he cares about everything that he's doing with this movie. The music is great, like you said. I wish they had put the Guardians theme in there more, like they do it when they're flying the ship into the battle at the end. I wish that theme had been more prevalent. But even stuff like the group talking to the audience at the end, and how it's like we finally understand him because we've formed an attachment.
Right.
It's great.
And I'm so glad they didn't kill anyone.
Dude, and that's perfect. Like
they didn't need to at all. It would have just been for like shock value.
Right, and we're all bracing ourselves because we're thinking surely they have to. And James Gunn is sitting over there like, no, I don't. And I just think it's awesome, and that in its own right has its own shock value.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't have this higher is because I feel that every movie above this has some sort of unprecedented, industry-altering significance to it. That this one is perfect because it closes up a trilogy and wraps up a bunch of arcs that needed to be wrapped up and puts a perfect golden bow on it. But there was nothing industry-altering about this movie.
Yeah.
Aside from, finally we have a good superhero movie that's not Spider-Man or Batman in the 2020s. Like, aside from that, there was nothing about this movie that changed anything. It was more just an amazing movie in a time where we needed an amazing movie.
I'd almost say it's probably one of the more rewatchable on the list too.
100%, I would agree. It's heavy.
Yeah.
But it's
it's like a happy heavy. So.
And the emotional stuff will always hit, which is it's hard to do that. So that for that reason I have it at number 6. But again, if somebody put this at their 1, I would understand.
I'm nervous to hear your top 5.
Number 5, I have Superman.
Okay, that's a good pick.
And I'm putting Superman at 5, not because in a lot of areas I think it's better than Guardians 3, but because of everything we've talked about, and I'll make this quick because we've talked about Superman to no end. It just is the movie that, like, we're watching it and we're like, oh, so DC's not screwed. And it was the first time you could really sit there and enjoy a DC movie, aside from Batman, and not feel like you're on the edge of your seat, not because of what's happening in the movie, but because you're like, please don't suck, because I really would love for DC to be good for once. Like, it was the pat on the back that we all needed, and like the handshake and the word being given to us by DC that, like, we know what we're doing for once. Trust us. And that hasn't happened in so long that, like, I just think that in and of itself, the movie could have been a 7 out of 10. And DC being able to assert that promise to the fans elevates it a ton.
I agree.
And I think that David Corenswet is perfect as Superman. I think Rachel Brosnahan is perfect as Lois. I think Nicholas Hoult is perfect as Lex. There's so much that works about this movie. But what works the most is the larger world that you can see being laid out before your own eyes, that you're like, I don't have to worry. I don't know what's coming, but I don't have to worry because clearly there's a vision here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like they're making it up as they go. Like, this is a lived-in world with well-written characters that I can get behind. And what more can you say? Like, that's just why Superman is what it is. I think it's honestly less just because the movie is inherently good and more because the fact that it's good means something to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's a bigger impact, like you said. I do think Guardians was the more perfect film. I think there was definitely, I don't think there was really anything wrong with Guardians. Superman, there was some stuff.
Yeah, there was no moment in Guardians where I was like...
So that's why I had it higher, but I hear what you're saying.
There was no moment in Guardians 3 where I was, like, cringing like I was with Superman. There were moments in Superman where I was like, that was a joke, man? Like, you couldn't have done better? Like, I don't know. Again, the James Gunn-isms. But, like, I just feel that Guardians 3... in terms of, again, we've gone over this, like, in terms of, like, a movie, it's better. In terms of what the movie means to the people, I think Superman elevates itself over Guardians.
See, I just care a lot more about the Guardians than I cared about... I get it. It needed to succeed.
Yes,
but Guardians I care about so much more than I do about Superman at all.
I think I do too. But the fact that there's a world now where down the road they might be level, like, that's very encouraging.
I don't know if it will be though, because I still look at Guardians 1 definitely better too. I would say Guardians 1 and 3 are better movies than Superman.
No, I agree.
Okay.
But I can't put Guardians over because I just think the cultural impact of being able to look at not just the character of Superman, but the larger world of the DC universe and be able to say, I have comfort in this, like, that ultimately means more technically to me than the Guardians being a better movie.
This is like the wrapping up of such a good thing, though. Like, one of the best trilogies in superhero stuff, like, wrapped up perfectly to a T. Like, just hits so hard. Compared to a movie that I still think, like, as good as it is, the reason it's so high for me is because of the points you're saying.
Yeah.
Not that it's a great movie and then has all these other things, too.
Like, to you, those things elevated over Superman?
for sure. But I'm saying my rating of Superman being an 8.6 has a point to do with it being the first in the broad scale of making a universe.
Sure.
And I think naturally, Guardians 3 is just a 9. Just
Okay.
naturally. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to get some arguing in because I thought it was fun. So anyway, doesn't really matter.
I mean, that's a solid argument. I totally get, again, anyone putting Guardians 3 at 1, I would get.
Yeah.
But I just think the cultural impact
Yeah.
carries Superman pretty high.
Yeah. All right, give me your top 4.
Number 4, I have the Batman.
Okay.
The Batman...
So you have Justice League ahead of Batman? Oh.
The Batman is...
Alright.
The Batman is to think of like a couple words, it's singular. It is like well realized, and it's like the truest embodiment of the character that we could possibly ask for. The Batman it realizes Gotham. It feels real. It feels like you're driving through your local downtown, city area. Like everyone has been through a part of their city that feels like Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just feels like something you'd look out your window and see. Like the danger feels real. And so I almost think that like them finding some line in there with the Batman where it feels grounded in reality, but also fantastical enough that like you could see a Mr. Freeze existing in this world. Like there's something so interesting about that.
Yeah.
Because we've only ever gotten the Batman like George Clooney or Val Kilmer where it's like larger than life, and the Riddler's going around spray painting question marks everywhere, and Tommy Lee Jones is running around doing like a Joker impression with his Two-Face. And then you have, like, George Clooney's, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger's playing Mr. Freeze, and Uma Thurman's going around, like, just, like, doing, like, weird stuff as Poison Ivy. But then you have Christian Bale's Batman and Christopher Nolan's stuff, where it feels like... It feels like all this stuff is stuff you could just see on, like, News Channel 10 at any given day. And so there's, there's like, an amazing grounded realness to the Dark Knight stuff, but it's not so fantastical that, like, it really pulls you into the world.
Right.
And I feel like the Batman is wherever that middle ground is, which is exactly where a Batman movie should be.
It feels like they could very easily take it to the next level where you see a penguin shooting some with his umbrella gun.
Yes.
But you could also have it be where it's just a very...
Or a Robin with, like, the batons.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it doesn't feel ridiculous.
Yes.
And I don't know how they found that line, but it's there.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
the Matt Reeves effect.
Dude, I don't know what else. Like, I don't know what else there is to say.
Well, I have something to say.
Go for it.
I'm just doing the... I'm no math guy, but I'm doing the math. Justice League is ahead of the Batman, and the Batman was better than the Dark Knight. So the Justice League Snyder Cut is better than the Dark Knight. Just something to think on, something to ponder on. I'll expect an answer next episode.
You've made me think because it's not. I guess I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, think about that.
It's
Ponder that.
It's not better than the Dark Knight,
Okay.
but I feel that the Batman is. So I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I have an explanation for why I have the Justice League so high.
okay. Well, I guess you'd probably argue, and this is probably where you're going, is maybe not the better movie, but like just for
Experience.
Yes.
Yes.
And like it's about your favorite, right?
That's where I'm going.
Not we're not doing the best movies. It's your favorite.
I'm going more
so
into
that's
the
fair.
experience
That's
of
fair.
it.
You know what? I'll get off.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Hold me accountable.
No. Okay.
All right. Let's hear your top 3.
At number 3, I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And this is the ordering.
I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow that.
2 and 3 is the ordering where I was like, I probably should switch this.
I almost feel like I need you to give me your 2 and 1 right now, and then we can hash this out.
No.
No? You're going to make me wait? If you have it at 1, I don't know if I'm going to be able to...
No. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is not even just... It's not even in the argument for best Spider-Man movie.
It's
in
the
the
best
argument
of
for
all
best
time.
superhero movie. It's in the argument for best animated movie of all time. Like,
It is.
It's in the argument for a heck of a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing score, amazing cast, amazing characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong
Keep
with
going.
it. Again, this movie... I can't stress enough, this movie's a 10 out of 10. I can't stress it. It's perfect. Like, I can't think of any problem with it. It flows perfect. The characters are perfect.
I'm getting
The movie's
overwhelmed.
perfect. The story's perfect. I can't wait to see where it goes.
But
I can't think of a reason it's below the others, aside from just the experience of the other two for me was a little bit more exciting.
I do enjoy the first 2 hours of Justice League, you know?
Like, I can't explain to you why this movie's below those other than to just say 1 and 2
Those are just
to me were
peak.
like experiences I'll never forget. I'll never forget this one. But like those first 2 are some of the best movie experiences I've ever had. So I think
What's
that's
2?
what my thing is. Number 2 is the Snyder Cut.
Okay. Alright.
I
I can live with that.
was 12 years old when Man of Steel came out. And so even though it wasn't the perfect Superman and it wasn't the perfect Superman movie, it was my Superman. Like, Henry Cavill for my entire childhood was my Superman.
Yeah.
I was there on opening night when Batman v Superman came out.
Oh.
And I was there when I watched Superman, like, get killed off. And I was there when I was watching for the first time Batman and Superman team up. And Wonder Woman and the whole it just
That is an
and
awesome
they're teasing
sequence.
the Justice
Yeah.
League. And it's all coming together. And then Superman dies and you're like, "Oh no." And there were a lot of emotions to that because it felt like you had just gotten Superman. And even though he wasn't perfect, like it felt like there was room to grow. And it felt like they were teasing in Batman v Superman this whole arc of like people don't accept Superman. And so you had to believe, like, when you're sitting there watching it opening night, there has to be an arc here where there's some sort of a Superman redemption, where he is on the up and up at the end of all this, and then he dies. Mm-hmm. And then the original cut of the Justice League comes out, and it is one of the worst
Just
movies
abysmal.
ever. And I was crushed, because I was like, I know that's not the movie that we were going to get. Mm-hmm. And now it feels like I don't have any payoff for this character that means the world to me. And You go through 2017, 18, 19, and you're like, gosh, dude. Like, I can't even look at Man of Steel, can't even look at Batman v Superman now because of how much I hate Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Snyder Cut is announced. And, dude, like, that was something. There were social media campaigns, there were posts. The fans pooled their money together and bought a billboard in Times Square. So, like, the release, the Snyder Cut was just in Times Square. There were highway billboards. Like, it was everywhere. And then Zack Snyder just went and did it. Mm-hmm. And it was the most unbelievable thing. Like, it was the first time as a fan base where you were like, we don't have power over these people, but wow, our voice matters. And clearly the characters matter enough to like Zack Snyder that like he's fighting for this thing. I can't imagine it's easy as a director to like go to a studio that doesn't care about you. Like, these studios have nothing to gain. In the middle of a pandemic and be like, this needs to be done.
But he was just so connected to that.
He cared so much about seeing his actual story get completed that like he just went and made it happen for nobody but the fans. And there's so much that like Zack Snyder, the reason he had to step away from production when Joss Whedon took over originally was because his daughter committed suicide, and it was this devastating thing. And so he came
and then
back
they
and
dedicate this one to her.
That's why the movie's dedicated to her. And so there was so much emotional stuff behind that. And then to see the movie, and you've got Superman coming back, and not just Superman coming back, but like it actually felt like in that final arc, like Henry Cavill like really nailed Superman. Like, this was the Superman that like he maybe should have been in Man of Steel. And
Yeah, I
Superman.
agree.
He was charismatic. He was cracking jokes. He was smiling.
He talks a little flat still, but
A little bit,
but yeah,
But you could see it.
yeah.
Like, you could
I
see the writing
totally,
on the wall.
Totally.
The way Flash runs and reverses time, they gave Flash his time to shine.
Yep.
I don't like Ezra Miller as the Flash, but that was just one of the most flawless superhero. Like, that was one of the most flawless superhero executions. Like, that scene, that sequence is perfect. I felt that Zack Snyder, even though he doesn't understand the world, he understood how to get these characters that are completely different to mesh in a way that felt cohesive and emotional and significant, and like it's very hard to paint a live-action picture where Batman, like a kid who lost his parents in a alleyway shooting and has used his trauma to haunt criminals with the image of a bat. Like, it's really hard to, like, mix that with a guy who talks to fish. And he did it. And do I think that the Snyder Cut is better than the Batman and better than Across the Spider-Verse? No. I think it's a step down. But do I think that the experience of sitting there the night it was released and seeing for the first time this movie and, like, knowing that it was as good as you wished it always had been, like, is there a more emotionally satisfying payoff than that? No, there's not.
Yeah.
And so that's why I personally have it at 2. Because the emotional payoff of knowing not only is this movie good, but it's literally everything that, like, internally as a fan, I was like, it would have been cool if they did this. It would have been cool if Flash had his moment to shine. It would have been cool if Batman had a little bit more, time as the leader. It would have been cool if Superman had a little bit more build up to his, like, return.
Right.
And to have all of it actually happen, it just felt like a complete, perfect payoff. Like, on par with if Disney were to have come out right after Rise of Skywalker and been like, our bad, these sequels aren't canon. Like, it would have been like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it felt like to me.
I fully agree with everything you're saying, and I don't think that they could have done it differently for the setup of it. I just think that when you're talking about banger movies, just the fact that you have to slug through a lot of build-up to be able to get to the Justice League movie, which is essentially the second half of the movie, right?
Sure.
Like, I think it takes it down below the peak.
Sure.
Just because of that. But, like, again, that second half is unbelievably good.
It's fantastic.
And we need... Get the billboard downtown.
You were the one who said this. You texted me this the other day.
Let's fund this. We will fund this with the big amount of money that we have coming in from this. We need a Snyder Justice League Part 2 and 3. I'm sorry, I need to see Darkseid on my screen. I need more.
Dude,
give the people what they want.
It's all there.
Give me what I want.
It's all there, and it's a story that, like, it's okay if it doesn't continue because it's, like, cool to think that, like, this Justice League is just doing stuff together off camera. Like, it's just cool to think that the story
it's enough
goes
of
on.
a payoff.
Like, yeah, it closes enough.
But it left too much that I want more. It wasn't just a post-credit scene tease. It was like that was the movie. Like, that was the point. Is like that that Darkseid's coming.
Now I'll say, knowing where the story was going to go, there's a part of me that's kind of glad that they didn't follow through. I would have loved for them to have continued the Snyder Justice League trilogy while maybe rewriting some stuff. Because some of the original script stuff, I'm like...
Yeah, well, they would have to retake it through, but that's fine.
Like, there was a thing where Lois dies, Superman goes evil.
Right.
There was like a
which
love
they
arc.
tease
There was
everything.
like a love arc between Batman and Lois. Like,
ew.
Like, just a lot of...
I've always been a... Is this weird to say? Like, I always felt like in these movies, this universe should have been Batman and Wonder Woman.
They were teasing that.
They tease that so much.
They do tease that, yeah.
But anyway, take us through why your number one is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Number one is Spider-Man No Way Home, and I feel that it's the only movie on here that speaks for its absolute self. It's the only movie on this list where you're watching it, and you're like, this movie shouldn't be real.
Yeah.
We could put that on right here. And we'd be watching it, and you're like, this should not be a thing that you can just click on and watch for 2 hours. It's not. Like, this shouldn't have happened. Should not have happened. Like, there's no way you actually got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland to suit up and fight every Spider-Man live-action villain ever. Like, you did that? Mm-hmm. And not only that, but, like, you managed to squeak in, like, a seriously good arc for Tom? It just doesn't feel like it's a real movie that should have been pulled off, but it was. Mm-hmm. And that's... What more can you say? It's just a...
Dude, Andrew, Tobey, Tom, Ned. One movie.
Yeah, I'm moving it down to 4.
I wanted to end the way we started, all about Ned. That's what this podcast is for. All about Ned. I like the list, dude.
So
I like the list. I like the list.
Again, I totally get.
I gave you some crap. It was just for the content.
No,
just for the content.
All right. Well, that was a good ranking. I like that. I like your piece.
Packed episode.
Yes.
We thought we were gonna do 2 episodes. We ended up doing one that's like
just a long,
unedited. Right now, I'm looking at an hour and 47 minutes. So we're gonna cut this.
We
down.
ended up talking a lot longer than we thought, so we're just gonna boom.
Gonna chop it in half. I didn't say anything that would get me canceled or you in trouble, so I think we're good.
Hopefully, we should be good.
So we should be fine.
Hopefully, we should be good. We're very thankful for everything. We just hit 70 subscribers on the YouTube.
Huge.
Small goal. We would love to get that to 100. If you're watching still at this point, please hit that subscribe button for us. Like any videos you see, follow us. That'd be awesome.
And comment,
Yes, comment.
because that's like our
Except
favorite
don't tell us that these mics should cost $200,000. So you can leave that part out. So I understand.
Oh, yeah.
I understand. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you to all the people that are doing all the stuff on Instagram and TikTok
Yep.
and interacting there. We love that. It's obviously hard for a video to gain traction, so it's hard to tell people to like and whatever stuff that they might not even see, because everything gets lost in the algorithm. But when we do appear and you guys do comment, it's awesome to hear from you guys and just see where you're at with what we're talking about.
Right.
And also just there's been some comments where it's just like, talk about this or whatever, and that's been awesome too. It gives us content and gives us ideas, and
Perfect.
we want to hear from you
Right.
guys, so it's good.
Exactly. And as always, when you record for 2 hours, you got to split that baby up.